Get Out. No, seriously. The movie's called Get Out. Hey everybody, welcome to Wright at the Movies. If you're looking for reviews on movies, you've come to the right place. Today I'm talking about Get Out. So what do you get when you cross the Stepford Wives and Key and Peele? An actually pretty good horror movie. I know, I'm actually pretty surprised too. This isn't just a good horror movie, it's actually a pretty good comedy and also a pretty good look at society. And it's all from a first-time director. Jordan Peele is a creative voice that I'm starting to look at more often. Even though I didn't love a lot of Key and Peele stuff, I definitely appreciated it, and I can tell that he is really, really smart, and he has an eye for really smart filmmaking. Even though he's a comedian, it doesn't mean that he can't tell really important, strong, and cool stories in other genres, and that's definitely the case here. And yeah, it's fun, and yeah, it's funny, and yeah, it's important, but at its center, it is still a horror movie. It's still scary. So in case you didn't know, our main character is a black guy and he's dating a white girl and they're really happy together and they're gonna go home and meet her parents and he's really nervous about this. He doesn't know if they'll accept him. He doesn't know if they'll accept the relationship and he's freaking out. When they show up in this gated community, it's exactly what he was afraid of. They're all rich, they're all pompous, they all act really weird and he doesn't know if they're being racist, if they're being weird or what's going on, but he is definitely freaked out. Everywhere he looks, it's exactly what he was afraid of. White people.
Do they know I'm black?
Should they?
You might wanna,
Mom and Dad, my black boyfriend will be coming up this weekend. I just don't want you to be shocked that he's a black man.
The fact is, in 2017, we're in a different era of racial politics, and it's really hard to talk about without offending people. And this is the first movie in almost all of Hollywood to really focus on this kind of racism, this kind of discussion, this kind of politics, and really show it for what it is. Really, really uncomfortable. Most people try to avoid this. Most people try not to talk about it at all. A lot of people like to pretend that racism is over, and it's not. It's just evolved into something more hidden, more secret, more creepy. And this movie really focuses on that kind of racism, the really creepy, hidden kind. Everyone in this town are really excited to tell him how they voted for Obama, how much they love Tiger Woods, how much they love basketball, and they're so proud of it. And yet in that, they're still just as racist. They're still focusing on the color of these people's skin and not who they are. And maybe you can chalk that up to people trying their best but still not quite figuring it out, but there's something sinister here. And it makes you want to throw up.
So you guys coming up from the city?
Yeah, we're just heading up for the weekend.
Can I see your license, please?
He wasn't driving.
I didn't ask who was driving, I asked to see his ID.
I'm not the one to talk about racial politics or where people sit and what's right and what's wrong, but there is something here. I think we can all agree with that. Something's weird, and this movie wants to talk about it.
Chris was just telling me how he felt much more comfortable with my being here. Get out.
Sorry, man.
Get out! Yo!
They're all really perfect, they're all really happy, but they're all really fake at the same time. And the main character is really uncomfortable. And as you watch the movie, you also get really uncomfortable. We don't know if anything's going on. We don't know if we're just being paranoid. And the movie knows this, and it points and laughs at you. You can tell so much about a person based on what they find funny and what they find scary. And this movie rides that line perfectly. This movie is not only scary and not only visually interesting and not only different and weird and fun, but it also still has a really important message. It has a point. This is a real movie and it's telling me things about dating and racism and anxiety, and it never ever stops changing your expectations.
Sink into the floor.
Wait.
Sink.
Mine is a terrible thing to waste.
I can see a dumber version of this movie in my head. I can see a big studio version of this movie. You walk into the house and they're flying Confederate flags, or they have KKK outfits on or something like that. This is smarter. This is creepier. And that's so important and so realistic. This is really getting into something that we're not talking about. At its core, where all of the horror comes from in this movie is being the one person in a room who thinks differently. And that's truly one of the most humanly scary things ever.
There's too many white people, I get nervous.
No.
I can't stress enough how impressed I am here. This movie is fun. Every horror movie that doesn't have fun is a failure. You know, horror is fun. You're supposed to laugh. You're supposed to scream. You're supposed to have a good time. This is one of the only genres that affects people this strongly. It's fun watching a horror movie, and it's fun watching this movie. And it also has a message. That's just a win-win. Yeah, sure, there's a comedic sidekick character that I could have done without, and I thought the middle chapter was a little bit slow, but all in all, I had a blast watching this movie, and I love the ideas and the effort put into it, and I'm so proud of Jordan Peele and everybody behind the scenes. This is an awesome achievement, and I highly, highly, highly recommend it if you're into horror and you're into just cool new ideas for movies. Go check it out. I'm gonna give it 2 thumbs up. Did you see Get Out? What did you think? Comment down below. Thanks for watching Right at the Movies. Please remember to like and subscribe, and you can check out some more reviews right here.